watch a fuel drain from the starboard to the port.
Okay.
But it's very rare you really have to do it. But I'm just showing you just in case the event, you might have to do it.
Then when it's done, you do the white button first and then turn those off. Press the white button again.
Yeah.
Because you have to press and hold it.
You're holding it.
Because if you release it, it's going to stop transferring the fuel. So you must press and hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you can walk away from it.
Yeah. And the good thing is only transfer one way.
Yeah.
From starboard to port.
Right.
Okay? So the only how you really do it, like say for example, like say if this is 3/4 full and this is 1/4 full, then you transfer the fuel. But it's very rare that might ever happen. Okay?
Alright.
Alright, good. Your voltmeter right there, your amp meters right here. You guys have your oil pressure gauge, water temperature gauge, RPM gauges. Also have lighting systems with alarms to let you know if the boat is overheating or the oil pressure have dropped. Now you have 2 glow switches which you never need because down here is too hot for that. Now to start the boat, put on the ignition switch, push the very top button and you start the boat right there. Same thing on the other end, put on the ignition switch, push the very top button and you start the boat right there. To stop it, push the stop button there, then push and hold the ignition switch. You watch it light up, then goes off. Stop button there first, press and hold the ignition switch, it will light up and then goes off right there. Now, even although guys you have a generator on this boat, you still have to run your port engine at 1600 RPM for 3 hours per day. Hour and a half in the morning, hour and a half in the evening.
1600.
Yes sir, to charge the batteries and keep the refrigerator going. To do this, start up your port engine right here. Then once the throttle is in neutral, you pull it out to disengage the transmission. You can rev forward or backward, it's your choice. Rev the engine up to 2000 RPM first to get amp meter kick in. Back down gradually to 1600 RPM. And that's where you guys are going to leave it there for hour and a half in the morning, hour and a half in the evening. Now once you put it back in neutral, it passes back in gear. Then you can go forward, neutral, reverse, back neutral. But also remember to lift or drop the anchor, you must have the engine running, or else you would not be able to use the remote control to lift or drop the anchor. So let's go up in front, check that out, and we're going to come back to all of the other stuff. Alright? Now, you won't really have to do it. You won't really have to run it for the hour and a half in the morning, hour and a half in the evening. All you have to do is just keep a track of the time. You know how long you've been running engine. Yeah? Alright. Now, right here guys, you have the remote control with the markings up and down. Now, you're going to press up to pull back the lock, flip that back, press it down, drop down the anchor right there.
Yep.
Now on this boat guys, you have 150 feet in chain, 50 feet in nylon, but there's no marking on the chain. So you have to remember the anchor chain drops 1 foot per second. So from 0 to 60 on your watch, you have about 60 feet of chain. Now once the anchor is secure in the water, you're going to get your anchor snubber line, which is this line right here. Hook this up around the chain like this. Then you're going to loose out this line, feed that anchor chain some more, till you can see this line straight in front of you in a V shape, putting all the pressure on the boat hulls inside of the windlass back here. For example, you see the catamaran right over there in front of us? You see how the line coming from each hull? That's exactly how yours are. So you're going to make sure the anchor is secure in the water. Then once it's secure, hook up the snubber line, feed it out some more till you can see those 2 lines straight in front of you. Now when you bring it back up, take this back off.
Well then don't you once that's snubbed, then you put that on?
Yes, you can do that, yes sir. Yeah. Alright, that's no problem if you want to do that. Alright. When you bring back up the anchor, you take this back off, put it right there. Now when you bring back up the anchor, you're not going to bring it up too tight. Because if you bring it up too tight, when you come to unlock it, you'll never get it unlocked. So you're going to bring it up just like this. Then flip that down, press the down switch and lock it off right there. Then also, just in case you guys lose the engine and you need to drop down the anchor chain manually, you're going to get this winch handle, stick it in on top there, turn an anti-clockwise position to slacken the clutch, lift this up and then you drop down the anchor chain manually. Now to get it back up now, that's where we come in. Then you give us a call, come up with the problem, and then you guys are ready to go again. Alright? Good. Any questions so far?
That's good.
Alright.
The other ones I seem to recall a side winch that we
That was on the 46. We have like a side winch where you can
could
probably
cheat for the main
Yeah,
signal.
not on this one though.
They don't like that, huh?
Not at all.
Doesn't work, okay.
Yep, but then remember now, on this one you can get away with everything because remember, you have the, you have where you can pull it up electrically from back there. Okay?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Alright. Because remember now, all of these dark lines that are temptable right now, they are yours. Take all of them with you. Take one of the dark lines, clean it off from the clip right there. And then on the mooring bar is a line hanging into the water with an eye. Right, a tap tape board on the side. You see that one? You have one right here, one back there, and you have another one at the back. Okay?
Using this and have it.
So you can take, just remember now, you're taking them off from the side. Pull them off. And now when you go to the area where you have the mooring bar, clean off one here, run to the mooring bars, come back as close as possible before, then clean it back there. Then get a second one, clean it off there, run to the mooring bar, bring it back as close as possible to the boat, and then clean it back over there. So you're gonna make, because you're gonna make, look at 4 lines coming from the boat to the mooring bar in a V shape. Because what you're doing is just doubling the lines to make them a lot stronger. So at night, if the weather pick up, you would not have to jump out of your sleep, see the boat is secure, you already have done that. Alright?
Make sure you actually stick it up here and run the line through.
No, because actually you have to do that on the 3900. But you can, if you want.
We've always cleaned it here before.
Yeah.
That's why it's always different.
Yeah. Because, but you can clean it up in front here, okay? Because see what happened on the 4900? They have like a little a sleeve area they have to put it in. So sometimes if it's too windy, that will pull out. But on these, they are bolted in. Okay? Alright. Yes, sir. We have 100 gallons of water in each tank. Now what I strongly recommend before you leave today, open up those 2 big white caps, look inside, make sure tanks are full. If they are not, you can use any one of the hoses along the dock, tap them off with water before you guys leave. You also have 2 spare dock lines right in there, so you have a total of 5 dock lines. You also have a spare anchor. Now the only time you're going to need that spare anchor is if you lose the main anchor, no other time. Alright? Then over on this end, how did this go?
And you fill through the whites, right?
Yes, sir. That's right. Fill them directly.
Yeah, check them right now.
This one's full.
Yeah, you can see the shadow right there, yeah.
This one's full. I can see this.
Then also, guys, you have the generator. Now, that is already set. You guys do not have any trouble at all. But to start and stop it from inside, which I'm going to show you guys that when we go in. Alright? Alright.
This.
This looks like dinghy cap stuff.
Yeah. Now right here, guys, you have the control right here. Then it's all the way down to the water line. Now in the dinghy, there are lines at the front, there's lines at the back. You're going to hook up this one to the front, this one to the back. You're going to have like a high and low action. So now when you bring it up now, make sure that your hand is out of the way on either side. When you bring this up, then you can flip this, just like that. Press the down switch, take the pressure off of this and put all the pressure on that right there.
You used to have to crank that.
No more of that, man. No more of that.
I was too short.
And so the dinghy's going to swing inside here?
Yes, you're going to flip it up, you're going to come up flat. But the thing is now, what we recommend, you're going to use the painter line from the front of the dinghy. Run it to the back. There's usually some eyelets to the back of the dinghy. You're going to run the dinghy painter line through one of the eyelets. Then you're going to lash it off here to eliminate the swinging of the dinghy while moving. Alright?
So the dinghy's actually laying.
Comes up flat.
Oh, it's flat. Yeah.
Comes up flat. Yes, sir.
All right.
But just take the front rope or what?
And then
To the back.
back.
Hook it through it.
Super.
That's right.
So
Good.
it's not wanking all over the place.
That's right. That's right. Right in this corner here, guys, you have your deck shower. Now the freshwater pump switch must be on inside. Yeah, now you have the option of hot and cold water right there.
Really? Huh.
Oh yeah. When you're not using, make sure that these are off because those can be a primary source of losing water. Now, every morning, we recommend you check the engine for oil and water just as a safety precaution. To check the engine for oil, you have the dipstick that is right here.
Sure,
You see where the bolt hook right there? That's a dipstick right there. We're going to check for oil. Now there's a marking on that dipstick to show how the oil should be. If you need to add oil, you see the orange cover directly on top that says oil.
Okay.
That's where you guys are going to add oil if you need to.
Alright.
To check for water, unscrew the cap right there, stick your finger in it, check for water. Now if you guys do not feel or see any water, you'll be adding fresh water from the tap. Also, you're going to check the seaweed check right here for the sea strainers for seaweeds. And we recommend you do that every morning before you start on the boat just to be on the safe side. No, right here, the sea strainer right there.
What do you have to do to check?
You have to just take off the cap. Yes, sir. Now, it's very rare that you have to add oil or water into the engine. But we still recommend do that routine check every morning just to be on the safe side. And the spare oil is behind of the young man right there in the half locker right there.
Young man.
Prepare yourself.
Yes, sir. Tap oil is check.
And this,
Roger that.
there's seaweed in there, and you just clean the
Yeah, just clean out the filter. Yes, sir. And the same thing like this is over on the other side as well. Okay? Perfect.
And the easiest way to get down, just
Just step on the
you
engine.
can step on the
Yeah, step on the engine and climb down.
and do that before you run it.
Oh, yes, definitely do.
So it's not hot.
Nah, that's right.
And the
Okay.
generator is what's running the air conditioning at night.
Yes, sir.
So you don't have either one of the engines running at all.
No. Not to get the air conditioner.
And this thing is what we're grabbing the moorings with, normally,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And it's usually stored up front.
Also, guys, you see going on this, there's a white cap right there. There's also one over on the other side. That's where the emergency tiller is located, just in case you lose the steering. Thank you. And the tiller bar, it's inside this locker right here. You see right underneath it, there's a chrome bar. You take it out, stick it in and you steer the boat if you lose the steering. You have your life raft, which you guys are not going to need. You also have the fins. You can try them on, make sure they fit. If they don't fit, there's a big white bin down on the end down there, and also one over there. We can change them out for your size if you need it too. Then also the two yellow cables. These are shore power cables. They are hardwired into the boat. So before you guys leave, please don't forget, unplug them and store them inside there. But before you unplug, there's some switches inside. You have to take out before you unplug. Thank you very much. So let's go in and I'll show you those switches. Now, right in this end here, guys, this is a 110 pad of the panel box. Now, before you guys unplug from the dock, you're going to start from the bottom here, going all up to the top, taking off everything except for the battery charger switch. So you start from the bottom, going to the top, taking off everything except for the battery charger switch. So once you see it white like this, that means it's off. So let me turn on the feature right there. So once you see the white switch, once you see the white pad of the switch, that means it's off. Then you're gonna come right in this area, take off shore power 2 and 1, unplug from the dock, store the cables, and then you guys are ready to leave. Because basically what you're doing is just taking off all load before you unplug, so you don't have any big surge or anything like that. Yeah. Now when you're on the way sailing, we do not recommend you run a generator. Reason for that, generator is up in front, water pickup is also up in front. So when the boat starts to go up and down on the seas, instead of generator sucking water, it could suck in air, then it could burn up. Then to get it repaired, it could take like a half day or a full day out of a trip, which now you guys don't want that. So when you reach the destination and you want to start up a generator, pull this top switch down to let it prime up for at least 10 to 15 seconds. Sometimes a little bit longer. Then you're going to push up the bottom one to meet it. So you're going to be like you're squeezing them together. once you hear the generator start completely like that, you release the both of them. But the thing is now, once you hear the generator, when you have the both of them squeeze and you hear the generator start, just hold the both of them squeeze a little longer for at least 3 to 5 more seconds. Because if you release them too fast, the generator might just shut right back down. So you just want to make sure the generator stays start. Then when you release them now, you need to get the power from a generator. Come right here in this area. Slide up to shut out shore power 1. Slide up to shut out shore power 2, because you no longer need the power from a shore power, but you need it from a generator. Put on a generator switch right there.
Still actually have to
Transfer power to put on to get the power from a generator. You wait let the volts jump up here. Then you're gonna put back on the air condition switches one at a time, 5 seconds apart. Because if you put them on all one time, you can have a big surge or something like that. Now with the water heaters, guys, you don't really have to put them back on, because remember you have water flowing in the engine as well. And if you do put them on, you only need to put them on at least 3 to 5 minutes before you take a shower. Then you go take a shower. Then afterwards, when you finish, you take them back off. Because sometimes if you leave them on too long, you could end up tripping a breaker right over here. Water heater, yes sir.
Just as one?
The two of them. One for port side, one for starboard side.
So this whole thing is port with that starboard?
Whichever one here. Now, these that are blanks, you would not put them on, because those are actually blanks. Outlets, you put these on. Run all of the outlets through the whole boat. Now what I strongly recommend, when you guys are using the microwave, the coffee pot, the blender, the toaster, it is best to take off the 3 air conditioning units first, because sometimes those take a lot of current. Now for some reason you forget to take them off and you trip a breaker, it's going to trip right here. So all you have to do, take off the air conditioning switches, put back on the master switch, then you guys are ready to go again. When you guys are going to shut down the generator, start from the bottom again, going all up to the top, taking off everything except for the battery charger switch. Come over here, take out the transfer power and the generator, pull down in the stop position, and you hold it right there till you hear the generator stop. And then while you're out there sailing,
I don't see why turning everything off if you're just going to be shutting it off.
No, because you're taking off all the power before you take off. Because remember now, when you're shutting on a generator or unplugging, you don't want to have any load. Because say for example, if you have one of these load and you're shutting on the generator, you may have a big surge. Or even if you're unplugging, say if you end up acting something, you're going to mess up the system in here. So that's why you're taking off
Still
all the
power
load.
lines, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you're trying to take off all the load before you unplug.
See, like before we just turned it on and off, and that was pretty much it, right?
Wrong way, man.
No?
Wrong way.
I mean, we heard somebody did that on their boat.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
YouTube or something.
So now, say if you guys shut down the generator, you guys go someplace again, you need a generator again, start it up, put back on the switches there. But if you guys go someplace we can plug in, plug back into the dock first, then slide down, put back on shore power 1, put back on shore power 2, because you're plugged back into the dock, then put back on the air condition switches one at a time, 5 seconds apart. And then remember, same thing with the water heaters, you don't have to put those back on. The blanks, you don't have to put those back on either. And then the outlets, you put them back on right there. So basically, all you have to remember, guys, is when you're taking off power, start from the bottom to the top, the bottom to the top. When you're putting on power, start from the top to the bottom, top to the bottom. And the reason why you have these 2 slides is because you don't want to have the 4 master switch on at the same time. Because you have 2 master switch for shore power, 2 master switch for generator. Once you remember that, you never have any problems.
Okay.
I was just explaining everything so you can know what those are all about.
I can understand the hot water before you might take a shower or something. You said something about the hot water out there where you don't need
No, I'm saying you don't have to put them on because you get water for running the engine. Because remember when you're running engines, you get from point A to point B, and you're running to charge the batteries, you get hot water.
Oh, but okay.
So you won't really need to put it on ever, actually. Okay?
That's also charging that.
So when the engine's running, do you have any power at all?
Well, you have the 12 volt power, which we're going to get to that in a little while.
Sorry.
No, that's
Sorry.
okay. That's okay. But the 110, you will not have none of that.
Okay. Good to know.
Okay, no problem. Any other question, guys? Okay. Now, this end, 12 volt pad of the panel box. Now, ready you have for the VHF radio. You have the one over there, the one outside. You can leave it on all the time. That's no problem. Now we have for the autopilot and the instruments. That's for the instruments outside. Now when you're sailing, you put it on. When you're not sailing, you take them off, save energy in the battery. Because remember, once it's white like this, that means it's off.
Right.
Now this one is actually for the ladies. The LPG, the gas control. Put up for the stove. You put on this switch right here. Orange light comes on over here to let you know the gas switch is on. Then you're gonna come right in this area. Now there's a clicker right here, and it clicks for these three on top. We want that big one to light. Push down and turn to the left. And then after a while you're gonna see it light up. Yep, once you see it light up like that, release the clicker, but continue holding the black knob pushed down for 5 to 10 more seconds to let the message repeat up, and then you release, and then it stays light. Because sometimes you release this too fast, that goes right back out. When you turn it off, straight up just like that, and you do the same thing for the others as well. Now for the oven, you open this up right here. You have a clicker down here for the oven. Push and turn to the right, and you light up the top part of the oven, and that's for the broiler. Once you see it look in and you see it light up like this, you hold it in for the same 5 to 10 seconds, and then release, and then it stays light. But see, I release it too fast, it went right back out.
And that's to boil.
Well, give me 1 minute, I just want to make sure that it stays lit, okay? So sometimes you have to hold it a little longer than 10 to 15 seconds, okay?
So I said, bang, bang.
It's down, keep it in a closed position. But what you guys going to do for safety, when you finish using the stove, leave the pilot lit, just like this. And then you're going to come right over here, you're going to take that gas switch off, right here, LPG control, right here. Take that off, and that's going to burn the propane from the stove straight to the tank, then take it off right there. But just remember now, it's going to take a little time to get the propane back into line again. We just doing that just for safety. Okay? All right.
I just want to confirm.
Go
You
ahead.
said if they use the coffee maker or the toaster, we have to turn the air conditioning off.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So you if you use
But
the
one
coffee
other thing I
maker,
forgot to mention, even if the ladies have hair dryers or blowers, you have to take out the air conditioner as well, okay?
No hair dryers.
No one brings them.
No one brings them. That's true. Because you're going to do your hair up and you're going to go outside, and that's going to be a waste of time.
Also guys, right here you have the water pressure. You're going to put on that switch, pumps water to the shower outside, for the sink, for the bathroom. Now remember, the toilets have seawater flush. So you can flush them as many times as you want. But
oh, they're not hand flush?
no, yeah, they are hand flush, but remember they are seawater. When you push them, they flush. They use seawater to flush them. But the shower head and to the face basin, that's fresh water. Okay? All right. Now, what I strongly recommend when you guys are on the way sailing, leave that water pressure switch off. Reason for that: if you put on a water tap by mistake, you could lose all your water. Then the shower pump, that's actually a sump pump. When you go downstairs instead of the bathroom and shower area, there's a button no bigger than a quarter. Below it or above it says shower drain. Push that button continuously, pumps all the water out of your shower. Then, this one here, these two right here, these are blank, so you do not have to put them on because they're not serving any purpose. The refrigerator / freezer, that one stays on at all times. Do not take it off for no reason. You have your freezer up on top, refrigerator down to the bottom. Now it's going to take a little time to get the refrigerator cold because the cold air from the freezer blows down into the refrigerator. Okay? Then you guys have for the DC outlets. You put on this switch right here. Then you can use your DC outlets right here. And then also you have the one over on that end in the corner. And also you have the one upstairs as well. Now the panel light, put on the switch lights at the whole panel box right there. Navigation lights you're not going to need because they do not sail at night. But you're going to still need to put on the navigation light switch. And then you can turn this one here to anchor light, which is a must. You put it on at night wherever you guys may be. Because with this to work up here, you must have on the navigation light switch here.
That's not controlled up top, huh? The anchor light? No.
Yeah, you turn this and turn on the anchor light right there. And if you turn it, that's for the navigation lights, sailing lights, and steaming light. But you're not going to need none of them because you don't sail at night. The only one you need is the anchor light. And the reason why you're putting on the anchor light at night when you guys in the marina, step on a mooring ball, is because there are always boats passing in and out of the harbors at night. Alright? In the daytime, take it off there, take it off there, take off here, take off there. Now for the salon light, put on the switch there, switches here to turn the lights on and off in the salon. Outside, you remember I showed you the 3 toggle switches, we can turn the lights on and off for the cockpit at night. In the daytime, you can take it off, save energy on the battery. Cabin lights, put on the switch, that's for the bedrooms and bathrooms. In the daytime, take it off there as well. The deck light, put on the switch, shines the light down on the deck. When you don't need it, take it back off, save energy on the battery. The fans, put on the switch, the gray buttons you push in front of them to turn them on and off. For the stereo, put on the switch right there. Then you guys are going to come right off to turn the stereo off. Volume up and down right here. Left and right to a different radio station. To play a CD, pull this across, pull down, put a CD in there, which is one CD at a time. One on the left is closed. So the switch, you turn the one on the right off, then you turn the next one open, and that's how you switch from one tank to the other.
Okay.
But just remember now when you're switching, you will get air into the line. So to bleed the air out, you just leave the water tap over there open. You're gonna hear the air going like psh, psh, psh. Then after a while, water will start to flow. Now sometimes you have to be a little patient because sometimes it takes a little time to get the water going again. Okay? Alright.
Welcome to the Moorings 4800 catamaran sailboat.
When you do your duty, wipe,
Introduce yourself first.
wipe and put it in a bag. Okay?
Where are the bags?
We'll have to have bags. Otherwise, if you put it in here, flush after each wipe. Now, the top switch brings water in and flushes it at the same time. So if you urinate, that's good enough. The bottom switch brings water in and flushes it. It's 2 separate units. You might need that if you have a larger deposit to remove. Okay? So, dual action, water in, water out.
Thank you.
This is the sump for your shower. So when you're showering and you're done, or as you're showering, there's a button right here, and that pumps the sump. So that's how you drain your shower. Push the button. So you see it. Right here. This is closed right now. So it's going in, it's being held in the tank. So when we leave port, We'll lift this up, and it will suck out. Venturi action will suck it out. Okay?